we go. Here we go, yay. Does this work? Dead. Broken. Zoe? Hey, what's up? How are you? Did you get your stuff? Did you get your stuff? Good. Ooh, I I'm sorry. I can't do that one. I'll break my pills in half if it looks like I'm gonna run out. I mean, it's not the best to do, you know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to take your full dose, but a half dose is better than running out. You know, yeah, if I think I'm gonna run out, I start breaking mine in half. Thank you. Thank you. My doctor hates when I do it, but I'm like, you know, what am I supposed to do? Like, you're not going to refill my meds, and I have to keep taking my meds, and I'm out of. They're like, oh, well, you should still have some. Like, well, you know, I don't though. So, I mean, it's my fault. I lose my meds. That is true. I got my friend, her boyfriend died a couple years ago, and when she found his Seroquel, and she's like, "Do you want these?" I was like, "Yes, yes, I do want those." So I've been taking a dead man's Seroquel. Very tragic story. It was for my friend. Her boyfriend died in her arms. My mom had a very similar situation. Her husband died in her arms, and I still can't figure out if it was good or bad. You know, like, you want to be there in the end for someone you love, but at the same point, there's so much trauma that comes from it in that fashion. I didn't speak at my father's funeral. I went. I didn't speak. I made my sister do everything. That is your right. It is your right to maintain your own mental health. Yeah, I don't. It's unfortunate, but I mean, it's your right. You don't owe them. You don't owe your parent. You don't owe your parents anything. You don't really owe anyone anything in life. It's your life to live as you see fit. If you want to atone for something, or if you want to help, then you know you can, but it's not mandated. A lot of people were not happy that I didn't speak at my father's funeral, and I just told I was like I couldn't do it. You don't want to. Nobody wants to hear what I had to say. It would have been disrespectful. Like, I tried to write a eulogy a couple times, and I was just like, I'm not doing this. Like, it's causing he would not do it for me, and it's causing me so much stress and so much grief that, oh boy, that It's just not worth it. It wasn't worth it for me. Thankfully, my sister's husband paid for everything. Very nice guy. Nobody asked him to. Tens of thousands of dollars. My father had nothing. Just debt. I got a flag, some ashes, and an artificial hip. I have one of my dad's hips, and my sister has the other. A lot of people think it's weird or morbid, but I think I like having something that I know was like him. It was a part of him for a long time. Because we didn't get along, but I did love him. But we never got along. And that was essentially what my eulogy kept breaking down to. And I just like, go ahead. I'm very sorry to hear that. I I had a chance to forgive my father. I lied, but I'm still glad that I did it. Ooh, that's a hard one. That is not good. Yeah, I can't think of the word. Not larceny. Is it larceny? Might be larceny. I'm not 100% sure. Um, um, Yeah, I'm using the wrong word. You. Extortion? Is that what I'm thinking? Extortion? Maybe it is extortion. Oh, like if they were sick, like taking their credit cards or making them change the will or something like that while ill. Yeah, I get that. My mom, when we thought she was going to die, she takes care of my uncle, so I was taking care of him. We thought she was going to die, so I had his power of attorney and was doing everything that he wanted to do. And then she had him lie to me, and she had the power of attorney switched in the middle of the night at like midnight while I wasn't there for all of the money and everything. So I had been taking care of him, been using the money from his check to do so, and saving some and investing it for him. Because that is what you're supposed to do with anything left over with the disability check. If you manage somebody's money, you're supposed to invest it for them. So I was doing that. I was doing that. And they got very upset with me. They said, you should be spending this money and not saving this money. And I said, well, I can't do that. Like I would be committing a felony. So that's what my mom does. She just takes his check and uses it on fast food and stuff, and that's that. I was very upset. He lied to my face. He said, "You called me and you told me that you weren't going to take care of me anymore." And I said, that never happened." And I said, "Well, show me on your call log." He said, "Oh, it was on the house phone." It's like, "Oh, okay." I've never wanted to hit somebody so much in my life. I will never speak to him again. I did so much for him. I put myself out so much for him. But the good part was they were like, "We don't even care about the money you've invested. Keep it." It's like, okay. They said, "We don't." It was because it's Bitcoin and they don't understand it. And they were like, "We don't. You just wasted your money on all of that stuff. We don't want any of that." It's like, okay. Bitcoin saved my dog's life and it got me a car. Paid for my dog's cancer surgery, and I put a down payment on my car with it. I have some put back. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe $10,000, probably less. That is my double emergency money. Like, just even when I'm living in my car, I will not touch that money. I would be homeless on the streets before I would ever touch that money. At the very least, it'll be enough for someone to bury me. It's hard right now. Everything is so... I can't save. I don't have anything to save right now. I do not know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure something out. I always do. I've always figured something out in the past, so... I'm sure that I will again, but right now I don't know what that's going to be. I had $60 left after I paid everything last month. I mean, I paid all of my bills. I bought my child food. We had everything that we need, but there was $60 left to save. It used to be more like 300, and now it's 60. I mean, I'm grateful that I'm able to save anything. I don't want to be sorry. Like, I'm very grateful for the money that I get. A lot of people in my position, I feel, are very, very ungrateful because it's not a lot of money. But in many countries, there's no money for something like that. Say Iran, there is no disability program where they pay you thousands of dollars every month. I get about $2,000 a month, but when my child turns 18, that number gets slashed significantly. I'm not sure of the math. He gets an award 50% of mine. I think I get 1,400 and he gets 700. So when he turns 18, it'll go from me having $2,000 a month to me having $1,400 a month, and I won't be able to afford to live in America full time. I'm looking forward to Mexico. It's beautiful. I'm gonna live with Bree and Zoe when I'm in the U.S. They'll pay the rent, the domestic rent. I'm gonna pay the rent on the vacation apartment in Mexico. Anybody can go there whenever they like. That way I can keep my state and federal benefits because I won't be not living in the state. I'll be legally living in the state and I'll be legally living in the country. I'll just be on vacation for 6 months at a time. For all intents and purposes, I'll be living there, but not legally. The worst part about it is I'm going to lose custody of my child. And there's no way for me to avoid that. I have to have a bedroom for him in my home. It's part of the agreement. As long as we have shared parenting, each of us, he has to have his own bedroom. So regardless if I move in with friends or if I live in my car, if my ex-wife wants to, she can take custody from me. I don't think she will. But right now I get to see my child every day. He gets to see me every day, he gets to see his mom every day. It's great for him. I will miss that very much when that time comes to an end. And there's nothing I can do about it. He will be old enough at that point to understand things. He'll be 16 or 17. So he will be old enough to understand that, I'm doing what I have to do. There are no other options. I have to do this. It's unfortunate, but it's math. And then he can come live with me in Mexico if he'd like, because I'm leaving the day after his 18th birthday. That is the plan. My mother will be dead, my dog will be dead, my child will be an adult, and there will be nothing left here for me. Why not leave? Why stay? I'll have enough money there. Right now, it costs about $1,000 a month to live a good life there. I'll have, probably by that time, $1,500 a month in a check, and I'll have about 15,000 saved. So I should, if everything goes to plan, which, you know, it never really fully does, I will be in a very good situation. It's just incredibly fragile. My life is great. I have everything I need, but it's incredibly fragile. If I were to lose this apartment, I can't afford to live anywhere else. We have a terrible... What is the homeless issue like in Brazil? How much do you know the numbers? America could solve their homeless issue tomorrow. We just choose not to. In the United States, the official number is 800,000. We have 800,000 homeless people in this nation. We have 14 million homes that are empty that are on the market, and we have 5 million empty storage units in this country. We can solve homelessness tomorrow. We just choose not to. Because it makes more money for those in power to, you know, have their houses on the market and get the top dollar for them rather than letting someone... Hoo hoo hoo! Thankfully, go ahead. Very, very dangerous. Do you know... Do you know how much money Blackwater or Gray... Is it Blackwater or Greystone? I forget. Which one's larger? I think it's Greystone. They manage $3 trillion in assets. With a T. I'm not sure that we will... Go ahead. I am not envious of the president that has to do that. I'm really not... Our Social Security fund for retirees has about 7 years left of money in it before everybody will get a 30% pay decrease in benefits. And people will riot. They won't be able to live. It's people that have worked all their life and paid into a system that has been squandered. Thankfully, the money for disabled people is held in a different fund. So that money is very secure. The only possible issue there is that they take the money from the fund that is stable and put it into the fund that is not stable and make it a new fund. That is the only bad thing that could happen as far as our Social Security situation. But most Americans don't even know. They don't even know about it. Like, they have no idea that there's only 7 years of money left. People that are depending on that money for their livelihood don't know that there's only 7 years left. They're... Ours in part is the baby boomers. The current generation that's retiring is so huge and has so many people in it that what is being paid in is no longer sustainable in terms of what's being paid out. If we can manage to sustain this for 30 years, if we can find some way to keep it stable for 30 years, it will rectify itself. However, there are fixes. There is a very simple fix to a lot of the shortfall in Social Security. Right now, you pay into Social Security on the first $150,000 of money that you earn. After that, you do not pay anything into it. So there are people that are making $5 million a year. They're only paying into Social Security on the first $150,000 that they make. So changing that law right there fixes about 80% of the shortfall. It's a very simple fix, but it's very politically unpopular because it involves taking money from those in power. The math for sustainability no longer works for the bottom 50% of the country. The last two times that this has happened in history were Russia and France. You know, Russia in World War I and France during the French Revolution. I mean, history rhymes. History does not necessarily repeat itself, but it rhymes. And something is going to happen. There will be an uprising if it's not politically fixed. Whether it's something that's voted into office or it's something that's forced with violence, something has to change. Mathematically, something has to change. There are college graduates living in their cars. It's no longer high school dropouts and IV drug users and, you know, the down and out and the dregs of society. It's now those who have done everything right, like they did what they were supposed to do. They went to school, they graduated, and there are just no jobs. My psychiatrist pays $800 in student loans a month, and that is with an adjustment. $800 a month. She pays more in student loans than I pay in rent. It's not fair. It is not fair that my health insurance is free and that there are people I pay nothing a month for better health insurance than they are paying $800 a month for. And it's not while it works in my favor, it's not fair and it's not sustainable. I can recognize that even though I am coming out on top in the situation, I think that what is fair is important, and it's not. Everybody should pay the same. I should pay the same, that she pays the same, that members of Congress pay the same, that the president, you know what I mean? Everybody should pay the same. That's how I feel about it. I'm in a minority. I pay nothing. $25% in taxes? Jesus. Is that standard across the nation? Here at the most you pay 20%, at most. And then you get some of it back at the end of the year. And that money goes to government corruption. That money goes to line the pockets of those in power, correct? Whoa. That is a huge number. 5% doesn't sound crazy, but what is Brazil's GDP? It's significant. I remember in college, in like the early 2000s, mid to late 2000s actually, that Brazil, Russia, India, and China were going to form a bloc that was going to give the West a run for their money. That has not happened. Yeah. Yes. But it doesn't have to be. It's fixable. Brazil has a robust cattle industry, correct? I know Argentina does as well. Have you watched any of the World Cup friendlies? Do you watch football at all? There were some friendlies. Iceland played. Oh, the world champions. Why can I not think Argentina? Of course they got beat. And then Hungary beats Kazakhstan. Yeah, they're friendlies. The tournament. Go ahead. Do you know who you're playing? The U.S. has a very easy matchup. I forget who it is. While the U.S. men's team is doing very well, the U.S. women's team may very well dominate. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Scotland. Haiti should not be a problem. Scotland has a somewhat competent national team, from what I've been told by Scottish friends. The U.S. plays something like Trinidad and Tobago, some small nation that we're just going to destroy. Maybe, you know? Miracles happen on any given day. Any team can win. In the United States in the 70s, we had the, or it might have been the 80s, the Miracle, I wasn't alive yet, the Miracle on Ice, where we beat the Russian hockey team. This was before we were allowed to use professional players. Russia cheated and always used professional players. And we had a team of, you know, people who had side jobs. They weren't full-time hockey players, and they managed to beat the most powerful team in the world. So it is possible. It's unlikely, but possible. For American football, we have the term any given Sunday. Anything can happen on any given Sunday, regardless of what the team's situations are. Sometimes very bad teams beat very good teams. Any given Sunday. Because, you know, American football is played primarily on Sundays towards the beginning of the season, and then it goes to Wednesdays, Thursdays, Tuesdays. American football is going to be in the next Summer Olympics, and I'm very excited. You watch baseball? No. Um, oh no. Oh no. Not Ron DeSantis. He is not a favorite of mine at all. we have an interesting scale with Waffle House here for national disasters. Provides how bad the situation is, whether or not Waffle House is open. Waffle House has a reputation for staying open during hurricanes, during tornadoes, things like this. So if Waffle House is closed, you know, the shit has hit the fan. It's a very interesting scale if you look at it. Breakfast food, it's breakfast, which is a wonderful business model. I wonder what the relationship between Lucasfilms and Waffle House is. I'm gonna have to look into that one. Rhonda's. Yeah, you can send me. Yeah, it might take me. I'm playing a game, so it might take me a little bit to look at it, but I'll definitely look at it. Oh, I'm almost done filling these freezers with fish. Too heavy for inventory. The Atlanta Braves have a long-standing history to a former president, President George W. Bush, to the best of my knowledge, is a shareholder in the Atlanta Braves and actually owns a portion of the team. It's very interesting. Ron DeSantis and George W. Bush also have some ties. I'm going to get a shadow ban for talking about this on YouTube. I don't care. I don't care. I can never make money off of. Listen to this. To be disabled and get your federal benefits, you are not permitted to work from a home business more than 40 hours a month. What kind of home business is going to be profitable with the proprietor working 40 hours a month? None. Nothing. Exactly. I don't like lying. I don't like lying on paperwork. I don't like lying in real life. I don't like lies. They are going to have to start letting us work more. Yeah, it's exactly. You would need a spouse or something like this. They can also then say that you were not disabled the whole time and you can be required to pay everything back. That would be about $250,000 in my case. I mean, that probably will not happen. They don't watch that close, but I'm not going to risk it. I don't even play Project Zomboid live plays for more than 2 hours at a time because I can't sit for more than 2 hours at a time or stand for more than 2 hours at a time for my employment situation. And it's very noble of you. when they sold it. Disney purchased it, right? Oh, God, Disney. It's it. Do you think? Um, do you think that they're trying to create a new mythology to alter the Jungian properties of the Star Wars universe to fit their corporate needs? In literature class, we studied a lot of Star Wars in League with Jungian archetypes. It's a modern Beowulf, or contemporary Beowulf rather. Yes, and Star Wars hints at religion frequently. They don't outright say it, but they hint at it frequently. Almost a religion of atheism. No, it's a failure for any business. Breaking even is a failure, except for a government entity. I haven't heard that exact phrase, but I'm familiar with the ideology. It has failed. The woke ideology has failed at every level. All of the Disney Star Wars movies have been terrible. Unwatchable in my opinion. While they may have made money, they are not entertaining in my. They have lost all their depth. It's just they've lost all their depth. It's just fancy shows and characters, explosions and stuff. I've never seen any of those. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, so it takes a very good Star Wars movie to get me to watch it, and I don't think any of them have been. Since the prequels, episodes 1 through 5, whatever, the ones with Princess Amidala. The cartoon Clone Wars I liked. The animated Clone Wars, I did like those. They're cash grabs. They're obvious cash grabs at this point. It's exactly, there's a Frank. Go ahead. that you chase your money to try and make it back? Yeah. It's a gambling thing, correct? Generally. They're heartless. There's no soul. No one's gonna do that. And they are there whether or not there are guests there. You're paying them no matter what. It's comparable to the John Madden football series. John Madden was an American football coach. He had the game John Madden. It was great in the 90s. And then EA was purchased. And since then, they have removed more than 150 features for the game. Every year, it's a cash grab. They slap the updated roster on it, they remove some features, and everybody buys it because it's Madden and because it's the only football franchise. They've made sure that no other franchise can exist. So they can behave however they like, and they will profit. EA is an awful company. They used to be a great company. I do not know at what point the ownership changed or their mission changed, but it's no longer about making quality products. It is about making money. Ugh, God, Christopher Tolkien's books are awful. Actually, the creators of Project Zomboid, the original team, all left Ubisoft in protest. The core French-Canadian team. And they've made a beautiful game that they refuse to sell. People complain. People have sent them death threats about the updates to the game. And it's just like, they could have sold this game for millions of dollars 100 times over. And made themselves millionaires, but it's their baby, it's their pet project. It's why they left their jobs. One 1.0. I'm not I'm not sure 1.0 ever happens. Per the devs, the end goal of the game is to be able to create a medieval technology society in game. And they're very, very far from that. They're going to try and re-implement human NPCs, which they had in the past, but were so incredibly janky that they had to be removed. It, we we're in fact very lucky to have this game at all. If you look into their development cycle, they have a video called "How to Not Make a Game." They had laptops stolen that had over a year of unbacked up work on them. There was also a bomb, an actual bomb went off in the apartment next to where they were developing, and they couldn't get there. They couldn't work on it for a very long time. And they have continued to make this game after any sane team of developers would have given up long ago. It's a fantastic game. It's hard. I think its difficulty, I think its learning curve is too steep. I am not either. I just have like 3.6 thousand hours in this game. I've just played it a lot. You can't play the old versions anymore. You used to be able to, and there was a security leak, so you can only play 42.163, 42.17, 42.18, and 42.19 right now. You used to be able to play the previous builds, but a modder, um, where have all of, there they are. It's like, where have all of my light bulbs gone? The light bulbs in this game, that's going to be the next setting that I play with. It's very frustrating to have to constantly change light bulbs. Wizards of the Coast is an example of a company that has sucked the soul out of its products. It has turned Magic the Gathering into a complete cash grab. It's now play to win. It is now pay to win. No, it's a cash grab. It lost its soul. It's sold out. Sometimes you, yeah, it's Wizard of the Coast as well, correct? I can no longer remove the light bulb? Do I have to? I'm familiar. I don't know how to use it, but I know it's accessible to me in Gemini. What I would like to do, if I understand the theory correctly, I would like to copy and paste the entirety of the code of Project Zomboid into there and be able to look into the code with regular English. That would be something that very much interests me. I just don't know where to get a hold or be able to copy and paste the entirety of Zomboid's code. It's a fuck. Interesting. Zomboid has it to a degree. It's by no means fleshed out. They do have sadness and boredom and things like that, but they have no long-term impacts. They have books. They've introduced musical instruments, but you cannot yet play them. But they've hinted that you will be able to at some point. You can use whistles and things like this. You can find guitars. They have amps and speakers in the world. And I'm sure there are mods. I don't understand why they haven't done it. All they need to do is assign a sound to it and let you equip it like a whistle. And I just, I don't understand why they haven't, but I'm sure they have their reasons. Why is that? Why? So because it'll allow people to be an asshole and ruin the fun for others. Railroading. It gives them the opportunity to significantly railroad. It's an interesting perspective. It's a very mature perspective. So you feel meth. It's method acting. Yeah, what's up? I have a doctor's appointment I have to go to today, and I don't want to stop playing to go to the doctor. It's going to be an uncomfortable doctor's appointment. It's going to be a somewhat painful doctor's appointment. I'm not looking forward to it. They've worked on that a bit. You gain a tolerance against panic the more zombies you kill now. I'm not sure which of these mechanics have been around for a while. I've only been playing for a couple of years. But I have a shitload of hours in a couple of years. I'm very proud of my base. I love my base. It took so long to build. I find myself worrying about the aesthetics of the base far too much. For example, I don't like this ice chest being next to the other coolers because it doesn't look the same. So I'm going to move it 3 times, even though functionally it serves no purpose, no difference. I mean, it serves a purpose, but there's no difference between the freezers and what they do other than the way that they look. I've spent far too much time, I feel, working on aesthetics. Hopefully it hasn't gotten me to where takes away from function. Wonderful game. The only other game that I play is, what I was mentioning, the Madden games. I play the one from 2009 because it was as good as it ever got. 2009 was the apex of Madden football, in my opinion. They changed the engine. EA used to have a specific engine for each game. Football game, hockey game, action-adventure game. They have since, in a money-saving effort, created a universal engine. So it does everything kind of okay, but it does nothing well. So the same engine that's used, say, for Spider-Man is now the same engine that's used for a football game or a hockey. FIFA. The FIFA game now uses the same engine as Spider-Man. It's Frostwire, I think. Frostbite, something like that. When they changed that engine, when they sold the company, and they changed that engine, it was the beginning of the end. It's a favorite game franchise of mine that holds huge nostalgia, and it's simply unplayable in its current format. Its contemporary format. I have one more freezer, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. It doesn't look right anywhere else. Maybe I put it over here? I'm very close to having all of my freezers full for winter. By the time winter gets here, I would like to have all of my freezers very full, and it's September, so winter is coming. That's why I've been fishing like a madman. I should have grown a second thing of crops, but I thought, in this game, whenever you think you have enough of an asset forever, or enough of a resource forever, and you're never going to need any more of it, it always bites you in the ass, and you always end up needing more. I have maybe 3,000 planks into this game. Into this base, rather. Oh, I stream on YouTube and Discord. That's it. Just YouTube and Discord. I can never make money because of the Social Security rules. I can never monetize. I can never do anything like this. So it's just for fun. It doesn't really matter. I like to stream on YouTube because there's a community of Zomboid streamers. I like very much being part of this community. It's mainly why I started to play online. That and Somni/Bree was like, you play this game enough, you should stream it. And I ran out of reasons not to. Alright, how full are these freezers? Yeah, it's a meta event. They will draw zombies near you to your area, but I've killed all the zombies. I'm fairly certain. I've seen maybe 5 zombies in the last 2 months. I need this popsicle freezer. I'm gonna put this by this door over here. They've implemented that in Zomboid to a degree, to where there's a peak, you can set a peak population date, but it doesn't increase anything other than, you know, the population of the game. They are introducing gasoline spoilage. Already, if you leave gasoline uncovered, it evaporates. What else? There are now loot goes down the longer you play. It implies that there are other survivors playing and that they have gotten loot. So the longer you wait, the less loot that is available. I turn that off because I don't find it enjoyable. I'm a loot goblin. I need all of the loot I can get my hands on. I don't want any decaying. That's interesting. It's very interesting. Certainly gives it an air of realism. Oh, there's nowhere to fish. Oh, I left my sunfish. I thought it was rotten. I left a sunfish laying here. What about sleep deprivation? Zomboid is currently lacking one. You can stay awake for 4 days, 5 days at a time, sleep for 8 hours, and you're fine. I don't like that. There should be more of a penalty for that. It should take you several days. I wonder how many more of my chickens are dead. None of them. Which is surprising for the level of dirt in there. Okay, bye. I have to leave in like an hour. And then I'll be back. You have a good day. You still there, Zoe? I still have freezers to fill before winter hits. Lots of freezers to fill. We're gonna be fishing for a while. As long as we can. Or until I fill those freezers. What to do, what to do. Cook some of these uncooked eggs, I suppose. And make salads. That's what I'll do. I have some more food I can grab. Gas can. Jerry can. Where is the jerry can? Did it despawn or something? I do not know where the jerry can has gone. Despawn, perhaps. Who knows? I know I had a jerry can. Now appears to now be gone. Don't need that anymore. Did I see fish? Fresh, uncooked, fresh, uncooked. Why did I have fish in the trunk? I never filled it up, motherfucker. Fucking generator's pumping. I wonder what happened to my jerry can. Despawned along with other things. Wish I could close the blinds in here. Oh, I gotta stop playing. It's always as soon as I start having fun. Do I have another pole in my backpack? No, but I do have another fish. All right, everybody on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.